Hello there, Year 2s, it's Mr. Bellingham here with our last music lesson in this series, looking at the different rhythms that we've been looking at. So far we've covered making our mini drums, starting to create some rhythms on our mini drums at home, and then obviously last week we moved on to looking at body percussion. So we're going to round things off this week by putting together a lot of the different things we've been doing. So thinking about practicing rhythms, reading rhythms, moving on to using our bodies to create rhythms. Today we're going to look at how we can play part of a rhythm that when we put it together with other people playing part of a rhythm makes a much kind of bigger and better beat than we could have made by ourselves. Okay, so particularly playing in parts, and we're going to make a bit of a bigger band, okay, a percussion group today. I know some of you will be thinking straight away, well, how are we going to do this? I'm sat at home by myself, okay? Don't worry, there are ways we can do this with the wonder of technology, okay? When it gets to your turn, I might want you to grab some of your family that are around, if you're in school, obviously. And there'll be other people in the classroom with you. But even if you're on your own and everyone else is working or busy, or your brothers and sisters are being grumpy and they don't want to join in, you can still join in with me and we can still play in parts anyway, okay? But before we get to that, I will obviously show you that later. The first thing we need to do is to learn some rhythms that we can play, okay? So today, learning these rhythms at the start is going to probably seem quite simple. And the reason for that is that if we're playing in parts, we're going to layer up 4 rhythms today. If they were all really complicated, full of lemonade, Coca-Cola, lemonade, coffee, okay, what we'd find is when we layer them up and we have several played at the same time, it would just sound like a mess. It would sound like a stampede of animals running across the plains, okay, and all you just hear is all the notes kind of blending together and not giving us a nice clear rhythm, which is what we're aiming for. So many of the beats today will just be resting, and the reason you're resting is probably because one of the other parts will be playing while you are resting. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Let's have a look at rhythm 1. Okay, now rhythm 1 is all going to be played using the bass. Okay, so remember when we looked at our body percussion last week, we used our chest, didn't we? And we hopefully found a good bit of our chest that makes a really good deep low bass sound. And all we're going to do on rhythm 1 is we're going to play a bass on beat 1. We're going to rest on beat 2, and remember to do something with your hand to help you remember to rest. We're going to play a coffee on beat number 3, and then we're going to rest on beat number 4. So when you put that together, you get tea, rest, coffee, rest, tea, rest, coffee, rest. Okay, so just like last week, we're going to have a quick go at playing along with a track. It's always good to practice to a song or to a metronome, something that will keep us in time. So I'm going to pop a track on. We're going to play along to this. It's a little bit slower than last week to help us out. And I want you to see if you can join in with me. I think we'll do it 8 times again, and then we'll stop with one last bass at the end. Okay. Are you ready after 4, 2, 3, 4. Tea, rest, coffee, rest. Good. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Great job, and well done if you managed to start with us, play all the way through with me there, and then get finished off, and especially if you remembered that last bass to kind of round off the full stop, the exclamation mark at the end of the song. Okay, moving on then to rhythm 2, which looks very similar for rhythm 1, but has its own particular challenge. Okay, as you can see, it starts on a rest, and what you'll be really tempted to do is when I count you in at the start and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, everything in you will want to start on your first kind of note, which is the coffee. So you've got to really make sure you do something with your hand on beat 1 to remind you to rest. Because it starts, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, coffee, rest, tea, rest, coffee, rest, tea. Okay? And you must remember to rest on beat 1. Now, whatever you need to do to help you remember to rest is great. I always kind of just pretend I'm playing an imaginary drum over here, or just move my hand to the side. Okay, but whatever works for you is super. Okay, let's have a go together with the backing track. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Well done if you remember to rest. Coffee, tea, rest. Okay, one more time. Rest, coffee, rest, tea. Okay, super job. Now I forgot to tell you that time, we don't need to round that rhythm off with something on beat 1. And if you think about that, that's because beat 1 was a rest anyway. So if we play beat 1 again at the end, well, all we're doing is we're resting. Okay, so just when you can do a rest on beat 1 to remind you, or you can just stop at the end, whatever works best for you. Okay, moving on to rhythm 3 then, and I'm going through these fairly quickly because I don't think the rhythms are going to challenge you too much today. This one is a bit different because we're not using our bass or our tone. We're not even using the slap that we used last week, but we're going to use a different sound. And if you think to when we played the shakers in class, you know, we've got the little egg shakers, or we've got the big long ones that give us that kind of just that nice background texture to a rhythm. We're going to try and recreate that using our bodies. So all we're going to do is we're going to rub our hands together back and forwards. Okay, so just like this. Okay, and can you see it kind of gives that similar effect to the shaker going on? So if we look at rhythm 3 and we've got lemonade, all we're going to need to do is do 3 like movements of our hands. So I'm going to go like from one hand forward while the other one goes back on lemonade. Okay, so faster it goes lemonade. Okay, lemonade, lemonade. That then means that coffee would just be 2 of those. Coffee. Okay, so then if we put it together with this rhythm with the rests, we've got lemonade, rest, coffee, rest, lemonade, rest, coffee, rest. Okay, now I hope my microphone picks that up well enough for you to be able to hear the sound, but hopefully you can follow along with that anyway. Okay, so let's have a go again with the backing track, and let's try and stay in time. This is one where it's really easy to kind of just get a bit fast and a bit out of time, or a bit slow when doing this. You've got to be really precise and fast with your movements, but then kind of keep still between them. So you're ready after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lemonade, rest, coffee. Lemonade, coffee. Lemonade, coffee. Lemonade, rest, coffee, rest. Lemonade. Good. So one more time. Okay, and then we can just do one last one at the end, like we said, to give the full stop. Right, so on to rhythm 4, the very, very last rhythm that we're going to put together and layer up to make our song in parts. And it looks really easy because it's 3 rests, and then at the end, we've just got that lemonade on the slap. Okay, remember last week we clicked our fingers to make the slap? If you're finding that too tricky and you practiced and you couldn't click your fingers, have a little practice now, because you might find that maybe this week after a bit of practice you can do it. But if you're still finding that technique a little bit hard, then remember you can use any other way you can make that similar slap sound. We talked about tapping our legs. I know you can't see my legs, but tapping your thighs, tapping your knees, okay? Anything that you can do to make a similar sound. And all we've got is rest, 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 lemonade, rest, 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 lemonade. Okay, let's have a go together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 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 lemonade. Good. Rest. Last time, and then we stop there, and again, because we didn't have anything on beat 1, it was just a rest, then we can just finish at the end. We don't need to add that full stop. Okay, well done if you managed to play all of those rhythms and you managed to stay roughly in time with the backing track and roughly coordinated with what we were doing. I know it is really, really tricky, but it's good fun, and it's also helping us just kind of think about music in a slightly different way to just playing the djembe all the time. Okay, so next thing we need to do is we need to get playing this in parts, and I can't play 4 parts at the same time, so I need some help from some friends today. Okay, now I've asked a few friends to come along and help me, and hopefully I'll be able to introduce them to you in a minute. But the first thing we need to do is we need to make a little bit of room for them, because as you can see, I'm taking up the whole screen, so there's no space for any of them to come along as well. So I brought a magic wand along with me, and I need you to help shrink me. So I'm really small, and so there's space around the screen for my friends to come and join me. Okay, so what I need you to do is, with me, can you say abracadabra, shrink Mr. B? Okay, really nice and loud, and we'll see if we can cast a spell to make me nice and small so there's some space around on the screen. Okay, I'm relying on you, so do a really good job for me. Okay, are you ready? Abracadabra, shrink Mr. B. Oh, I'm still the same size. Oh, come on, you must not have done it well enough. You've got to do it louder and better and more enthusiastic than that for me, otherwise I'll never get smaller. Okay, can we have one last go? Can you try really hard to shrink me, to make me really, really tiny? Okay, are you ready? Get ready. Abracadabra, shrink Mr. B. Wow. I can't believe it's actually worked. Thank you. Oh, that's fantastic, because that means that now I'm tiny, we can get on with introducing my friends that can help us out today. Okay, now I do just want to say before I introduce you to them, neither of them or none of them really wanted to come and help today. Okay, they had other things going on, but obviously I'm very limited with who I can ask to help because of lockdowns and bubbles and all of those things. So I've asked my 2 brothers to come along to help. Okay, now the first one is my older brother. Now he just loves playing hockey and he wants to be out playing ice hockey all the time. So we'll call him Hockey Mr. B. But just be aware that he's only come just for a few minutes between hockey practice, and then he wants to go back to hockey practice as fast as possible. So can you be really encouraging when you see him and give him a really good welcome? Okay, so over here then is my older brother, Hockey Mr. B. Hi there, you alright, brother?
Hey guys, is it time for some hockey?
No, you can't play hockey now. We've got to get this video filmed first.
But I just want to play hockey.
Okay, we'll do it quickly, and then you can maybe go back and carry on your hockey practice after. Is that okay?
Okay.
Great, thank you. Okay, brilliant stuff. Good, alright. Okay, so he is going to take rhythm 2 for us. I'm going to take rhythm 1, but we need more friends because we've got 2 more rhythms, okay? So the second one is that's going to come and help us, is my younger brother, okay? Now, he's quite a bit younger than me and he's a teenager, okay? And what we know about teenagers, I don't know if any of you have got teenage brothers and sisters, is they can be a bit grumpy sometimes, okay? Now, it's about 11:30 in my house, it's nearly lunchtime, but he's just got up and he's in a bit of that kind of grumpy teenager bad mood, okay? So can you be really nice and kind of kind to him, because I don't think he really wants to help us, okay? So down in this corner is going to be my younger brother, teenage Mr. B. Hiya, you alright? Mm. Can you say a little bit more than just a grunt for us? Okay. Apparently grunting is saying hello. Okay, well, that looks like the best we're going to get this morning from him, doesn't it? Okay, so that is our second brother. We'll just leave him to have a little bit of a grumpy teenager. In a couple of hours he'll wake up, I'm sure. Okay, and then I realised we needed 4 parts, and I've only got 2 brothers with me. So I needed to get someone else to come and help, okay? And I thought about this really hard, and I thought, every week they've tried to join in and they've caused all sorts of trouble. Maybe if I just asked them to do something, maybe they could do a really good job. So down here, hopefully, are going to appear some minions. Hi minions, are you okay?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, it's good to have you. You're going to be really good today and actually do the things I ask you to, rather than kind of spoiling the video for me.
Yay!
Great. Thank you. Okay, you guys can take rhythm number 4 then. Is that all right?
Yay!
Fantastic. Right, so I'm going to play rhythm number 1. Hockey Mr. B is going to play rhythm number 2. Teenager Mr. B is going to take rhythm number 3. And then hopefully the minions are going to take rhythm number 4. So we'll have to see how that one goes, okay? Now, if you're there with lots of people around you, why not grab some of them and they can come and join in, and maybe you can share out the rhythms between you. But if you're on your own and you've not got brothers and sisters around you, or you've not got mum and dad if they're busy working, or whatever, if there's any reason they can't help, then you can just pick one of the rhythms and you can just join in with 1 part, and the rest of us here will help kind of play the other parts as well. If you run a real challenge, why not pick 2 parts and try and play them together, okay? So let's have a go, choose which part you want, and then we are ready to start our song. Right, so it looks like we're all here and ready to start. So Hockey Mr. B, take your hockey gloves off. Teenage Mr. B, please can you just put your phone away for 5 minutes? And minions, I hope you guys are ready to do what I've asked you to do. And then let's get ready for the song. I will count you in. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Get ready to finish. 2, 3, 4. Hockey time. Right then, year 2, thanks for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed playing along with whichever part or parts you chose, and want to say thank you to my friends, my brothers and the minions for joining us and helping us out today, even if I literally had to drag them out of bed or off the hockey rink to help. Next week is half term, and then after that we'll be starting another project, I think, with Mr. Oakton. So it may be a while before you see me on one of these videos again, but I look forward to seeing you all soon. Stay safe, enjoy the half term, whatever you're doing, and we will see you again fairly soon. Okay, goodbye. It's hockey time! Mm-hmm.